Boy, man, Shiloh not playing with y'all, man. Stop. Okay, so check it. People mad at Shiloh Sanders due to the fact of what he said to the lady Mary, told her gonna make a sandwich or whatever and stuff. He not playing with y'all no more. Shiloh understands his role and he said that. He like, man, I ain't in the league. I really ain't got sponsors like that. I don't care. I really have nothing to lose. He's like, I'm media. I'm giving my opinion on what I see. And now people are mad at him because you can't hurt him. The only person that you would say quote unquote matters is, Prime Time and Shador. And we're not saying that's who matters in the family, but those are the people that can be hurt from any type of negative media backlash. Shiloh understands that, like, I'm a streamer. I'm considered media. I can say whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. And we understand that. Everybody else don't understand that. Because you attach him to the quote-unquote Sanders name. Yes, he got to hold the Sanders name or whatever. But he's not under the same rules as them. As you see, with this case where they had to put hands on dude and he got sued. They won. The people won, whatever, and, he had to declare for bankruptcy in order to protect his assets. He's not playing when it comes to his family. Why would anybody play when it comes to their family? You think because he's rich or he has some type of notoriety that he's supposed to just let things happen to him or let things be said about his family? No. And that's the problem with the media. Like, y'all think that people are supposed to just take what you're saying about them. No. Nah, not whatsoever. I know as I'm, doing these vlogs and talking or whatever, that I may say something that somebody don't like. Like, I just made something about the director, Zach Kreger, and I was like, he's trash. Like, he won the lottery with weapons. He don't have to take what I'm saying. He can literally say, like, you know what, F you, dog. Let's shake. I don't like what you said. Okay, bet, let's get to it. But the people feel like there's a false moral standard of they just have to take it because you're the media. Because they're freedom of press. So he's like, well, I can say what I want. I'm considered press. I can say what I want. You say this, I can use my platform to say that. And you got to think about what's going on with their family. Like, their family has been in the limelight since before he was born. All because their dad was a good athlete. I know, well, he went to be famous and all the interviews and stuff. Well, when you're a good athlete, they're going to interview you. And then how he was in front of the camera was polarizing. He's a very polarizing character in front of the camera, and he didn't let the media ever play with him ever since he started. And that's why he was prime time, and that's why he's considered 100% like all the way through and through Black American culture. Oh, he's flashy. He's this. No, he's the person who did not decide to tone himself down or whitewash himself to fit in front of the media narrative. The first thing that they make you do as soon as you get into these next levels, the haircut. Take away your power. Samson. Take away your power. Cut your hair. We saw what's son from the quarterback from the Eagles, Jalen Hurts. He had hair. Oh, you gotta cut his hair, clean up your image. That's what they say. You gotta cut your hair and clean up your image. Like having braids, dreads, or any type of hair all of a sudden that's dirty because you gotta fit quote unquote for the white media. You gotta fit for your owner. You gotta be whatever. And the whole Kaepernick situation, they was right when he showed the draft process as being slavery. He's not lying. He's not lying. You're in the field and your stats is showing your work output, how efficient that you are at the work that you do. But they're being paid millions. The only reason why they're being paid millions is based on the value that they hold, their statistical value. So think about it, right? Let's say you have slaves, right? And you have this slave that works in the field and he's bringing in $1 million to your plantation in the 1800s. That is a lot of money, right? And they go sell slaves on the trading block, right? They go sell the slaves on the trading block and they offer some type of cash value for this slave. So they're like, hey, well, this one, he brings me in $1 million. Well, I'll pay this much for him. Well, my boss, he pays me 36 cents. Well, you know what? For you to come over here, I'll pay you 50 cents. Another, no, I'll pay him $1. And then it goes up and goes up and goes up. It's the same thing. And that's how we got into the quote unquote millions of dollars, because they're bringing in money to the organization. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. There were rich slaves. Yes, there were people that bought their freedom. And then there were black owners that owned slaves. Yeah. Y'all ain't watch Django? We could make more recently Django. It told you exactly what it was. with boxing, the whole Mandingo fighting. Jack Johnson, our first super heavyweight, was able to by himself. Yeah, yes. They only put gloves on them because the fighters would die after most fights. You only can get 2-3 fights out of them before they would die. So they put gloves on them so they can keep fighting again and bringing in money. Boxing. Yeah. Why do you think black Americans have such a great championship pedigree in boxing? Because they used to make the slaves fight. That was in our blood is coded down. Nothing had changed. Nothing. Everybody wasn't a slave. So when you say, oh, well, all black people were slaves and stuff and whatever, and like, no, we had black people that were put into certain sides of towns. Hence where we have the projects, districts. So to go back into the whole Shilo situation, right? The reason why he was so polarizing, or his dad was so polarizing, because he was the first one to speak his mind. Well, Jim Brown was. It was Jim Brown. He opened the door to, we not playing games. We not, whatever. I'm not finna let y'all play with me, whatever. And then you had Prime, because that door was open, was able to say, hey, come in. This is our culture. This is how we do it. Well, you're so flashy. You have that. We like to wear gold. We like to have Jerry curls. We like to wear glasses. We like to wear the finest stuff. We like to do that too. Y'all made it. I'm just wearing it. Why is it a problem? And that's that's a big problem. When they always say, oh, well, black people are always flashy and gaudy and they wearing shiny watches. Y'all made it. I don't know a black watchmaker. Rolex black, Cuban chains made by Cubans, Italian Versace. At the time with the Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren, we wearing what y'all made. Why is it a problem? We're wearing what you made. So why is it a problem when you say black people are flashy? Why is it a problem? We're literally wearing what you guys are made it. Is it because you look good? Your mind is telling you subconsciously, oh, you're not supposed to have that. Hey, you're not supposed to talk back. That's why when they be like, oh, it's not that serious. It is that serious. So when Shilo be speaking up about his family on all that and saying what he got to say, it is that serious because they feel, oh, you're not supposed to speak back. We're supposed to say this about you, and you're supposed to take it. You're not supposed to defend yourself. He's wrong. He's facing backlash. There's only stuff on the internet. You look at Shilo in real life, you not. That boy about 6 feet, athletic muscle. You're not gonna do nothing to that boy. That boy crazy. Look at him in real life, and people can kind of, oh, you're bigger in person. Like for some reason, people be feeling like I'm short, and then they realize I'm like almost 6'2", 260 pounds, and be like, yo, what? I'm like, yeah, what? And then people make the whole gun comment, and it'd be funny too. Like, well, we got something, we got guns. It'd be funny because when people find out how big I am, and then they put the whole gun comment and thing, I'm like, this is America. The Second Amendment, they didn't stop making guns when you got one. Smith & Wesson and Glock, their stock still rises every single day. So somebody's buying them. So when y'all be making gun comments about big dudes, and big dudes are fully aware of that. You think just because a person is big, that you think the first thing they want to do is sit here and fight and grab you. They understand that they're bigger than you. And they're like, oh, I'm bigger than this person, and this little person wants a problem with me. First, I'm going to try to defuse the situation, because 9 times out of 10, he probably got a gun, but I have to keep it on me just in case your little ass might want a problem. Oh, well, you mad big and you pulling on a gun. No, man, I understand that you little and you see that I'm big and you might want to pull out a gun on me because you feel like you cannot handle me in a physical altercation. Here is common sense. And that's the thing about it. Common sense is not common, and people tend not to critically think about these type of things. So, like I said, to really back into the whole Shilo situation, it's like, yo, we've been watching his family get talked about his whole life. His dad been getting talked about well before he was born. You think kids gonna keep taking that? They're gonna let you play with them, especially when they have a platform where they can speak back, where they can just get on stream and dispel any type of rumor. They can get rid of anything. They can literally. I think that's the best thing about the internet is now that celebs have the power to speak back. You know how much things that we believe is news is just straight rumors and made up about celebrities, famous people, businesses, or anything. Everything is mere speculation, but they just don't defend it. They don't care enough. And the whole thing of PR, that's going out the window too. You would think public PR would be the biggest thing ever because now everybody has some type of platform. Or having a PR person, I would say, specifically. Yeah, having a PR lady, having a publicist. Like, you would think that would be like a very, very big thing now that everybody has a chance at being media, to having a publicist. But now you can just go in here and merely defend yourself. It's like, imagine talking crazy about, like, I don't know, Sydney Sweeney or somebody like that. And they just get on like, no. or say something crazy to Rihanna, and she just makes a video on her Instagram like, no, that's a lie. Like, y'all, a lot of y'all should be thankful Beyonce and Jay-Z don't say nothing. Like, y'all should be thankful Beyonce and Jay-Z just don't say nothing. As much as y'all be talking crazy about them, y'all should be lucky that they don't just say nothing. They don't get on there and be like, you know what? And then like, that's not true. This is whatever. This person's doing this because they're broke. This person is this, and this is whatever. Y'all should be lucky they don't do that. Y'all should be lucky these people that y'all attack every single day don't defend themselves, because most people, 99% of people, can't handle that pressure. Imagine how many people that's on the internet right now that's in the comments talking crazy about somebody, and then all of a sudden that person responds to them and they feel like they're getting picked on. You're internet bullying me. And they want to call it internet bullying thing. You feel like you're getting picked on because now a person with 10 million followers then probably made a video back about you, and then it'd be funny because when they find out your profile ain't private, or they could find out information about you, which is very, very easy to find information about you, and then expose you and talk crazy like, this is the person that's talking about me. Now all of a sudden you feel like you're bullied. Yeah, 99% of people can't handle the pressure of one, having $100,000 more at once and have any type of notoriety beyond their friend circle. They cannot handle that. Most people cannot handle that. Like, that's just true. That's true. And we've seen that through the pandemic when most people had $10,000 for the first time in their life. And we've seen more people get on drugs than ever before. Some people passed away through fentanyl and all that stuff because they couldn't handle the pressure because they had access. Most people cannot handle access whatsoever. That's why do you see the kids, they be built in quote unquote, as you would say, groomed. Yes, grooming has so many different meanings, but yes, we be groomed for fame, because that is something that is very hard to handle. To step out your house and there's a camera in your face. Well, most people, you don't even like your friends filming you on your birthday. So imagine somebody in your bushes and they pop out with a camera taking a picture and asking you questions at 2, 3 in the morning about nothing. You'd be like, about something that's just a straight up made up rumor. And you'd be like, what? Most of you cannot handle that. And some people be talking about, yeah, I want to be that, I want it. You do not. I'm telling you, do not. I'm telling you as a person with over 300,000 followers, it's something you do not want. And then when you're in the gray zone of, what, do I go back down to poverty or do I keep going up? And yes, you might see this. You're going to see this on my backup page. I don't say my backup, my new page. My new page don't even got 20 subscribers yet. So when people, I remember somebody was talking about that. But somebody was like, I was talking about my follower count or something and my subscribers, and it was like, yeah, at the time I was building a music page. You only got 57 subscribers, and I'm like, yeah, this is my backup, bro. This is another channel that I'm building, and this is another channel that I'm building. I'm like, y'all cannot handle the pressure of, if you may say something wrong, then that video goes viral, now you have 100,000 people saying something messed up about you and all this, and y'all can't handle that. You can. You think you want it, you do not. You can't. Where you don't know who don't like you for your opinion, and you have to walk around and with a little bit look over your shoulder because you might have said something that somebody might. You're not everything you're gonna say. People are not going to like. People are not going to like it. Everything that you're saying, people are not. You might think you're saying the most perfect opinion in the world. You're going to get 1,000 people over here that do not like what you're saying. You might be saying, oh, apples are great. They're great and they're red. And somebody be like, you know what? They're terrible and they're green. That's just how the world. Most of y'all cannot handle it. Y'all don't want to do the content creation for real. Y'all don't want to really go get the money for real. That's why most people don't get it. That's why they call it the 1%. Because only 1% people really want to do it. With that pressure and people hate you just because you're rich. People, we see the whole thing. Like, people are like, damn, all I did was like go hard and perfect my skill that I was doing. Especially celebrities. Celebrities are the buffer between the people that really run it. Oh yeah, what make you hate these celebrities? Well, I'm the one that really runs Walmart. I really run Amazon. I really run these manufacturing jobs that really is not paying you. But yeah, I want you to go here and be mad at The Rock and Kevin Hart for being famous because we gave them $100 million on one deal, even though we're making $100 million every 2 days, or making $100 million a week off of your labor. Who's the owner of Red Bull right now without Googling? Exactly. Who runs that? But yet you can be mad at a Red Bull athlete because he might have did a backflip over your house. The celebrities are the buffer between the real people that really run things. So they make you mad at them instead of the people that's not paying you. So you might work at the Red Bull factory. I'm not saying Red Bull is underpaying people. But let's say you work at the Red Bull factory. You feel like you underpaid. But yet you're mad at Travis Pastrana because he's sponsored by Red Bull. I don't know if he is. But he's sponsored by Red Bull. And he might have did a backflip over your house. And you're like, oh, that's not saving this, whatever. They need to take down Red Bull because of people like you. And the whole time the owner of Red Bull, he's just walking around, walk right past you. It's like it'd be funny because now I start to get in some of these circles or knowing these people. You start being privy to some of this stuff that you start seeing. You start realizing like people do not know what's going on. People do not know what's going on. That's why they're considered. Cause I'm considered what they call it. It's called NGE, Nation of Gods and Earth 5%ers. It's the 7 that you always see with the black and gold. So they call us, gods and earths. Lauryn Hill, Jay-Z, Carmelo Anthony, Nas, all of us. So we have something where we the 5%er, the 5%er of the truth tellers, the people that see the world for what it is and not what's shown. And then you also get the 85ers. The 85ers are considered the blind, deaf, and dumb, which is considered the average person. Then the 10% are the people that hold the truth from the people. These are like, you would say the politicians. The people that, you would say the politicians, you would say the dark shadow realm, people that hold the secrets of the earth and they'll tell you and they oppress people. But this is what we would call the average person. We would call you the 85ers. Because you're blind, deaf, and dumb, you really don't be knowing what's going on. At all, like really, like your perception of celebrityism and fame and money, how money even works. Y'all don't be knowing what's going on. Y'all literally don't even know how money works. And then you would think, oh, let me work harder instead of working smarter and more efficiently. That is the first rule. The first rule. Most people try to think they're going to work harder to get to another level instead of working more efficiently and smarter. Make your next move the best move. And most people do not do that. Only 20 people might see this video. Who knows? But a million people might see this clip. But most people don't know how this world works. And it's crazy. It's crazy. And some may think they do, and that be the thing about it. The ones that be thinking that they do, they're the ones that the farthest. Ask any of your friends that make over 6 figures a year, and you're going to see, ask your friends that make over 6 figures a year about how they see the world, how they think, how they view you, or how they view the people around them. And you're going to get an answer you do not like. You're going to get an answer that you do not like. There's a reason why they got to that level and you didn't. It's a totally different mindset. Totally different mindset that, once again, 99% of people do not have. Catch you on the next one.